Welcome everyone to another OCBL Patton hosted by BridgeChamp. I will be taking you through all of the action today as we check out the 7 great teams that are going to be competing for the top spot in today's competition. Some of the teams are fully here. Some of them are still waiting on players to get started. We have about 8 minutes until the round's officially going to begin, but I do believe that we'll get started a little bit early once all the players have showed up and have readied up for the event. Now, I do want to mention that you yourself can play in this, and entry is free to this event. All you need to do is find your favorite team of 4 players and head on over to the OCBL site, click on registration under the BridgeChamp events, and submit an application form with all of your team members' names, and then within some short time period, OCBL will grant you access to compete in the OCBL Pattons on BridgeChamp or any other BridgeChamp events that the OCBL runs. So if you want your chance to play up against some of these top tier players, that would be a great way to get some experience in. With that said, let's take a look at which teams are going to be competing. We see a lot of the staples from the events. BridgeChamp itself, the site has a couple of teams that are competing. DeFranco on one of the teams. Many Italian players are going to be competing in this. BridgeChamp A also has Agustin Medalla, who used to be Italian, now Argentinian, and a number of other common names. Adora always plays in the event. Some more Italians over there on that team. We saw One Down, No Down, I think had a pretty good start to the last event, although they ended up falling a little bit short of the podium ultimately. But a lot of returning members on that team playing. We have Harris UK, a team from the United Kingdom that frequently competes in this. They always do fairly well. And you can see some of the teams actually are 5-handed, so they're going to be subbing in and out players throughout the event. And then Draver, I think Tom Draver is the captain of this team, but they have competed a couple of times. And then finally, a team that actually I don't think I recognize, but some of the players have played before in the event. So currently they only have 3 players, but hopefully their 4th will join up shortly. Still have about 5 minutes until everything gets set up. And just waiting on some more players to come into the lobby. But we should be getting underway soon. If you're not familiar with Patton scoring, this is a relatively popular form of scoring for tournaments in Europe. And the way it works is that it's a combination of both board-a-match scoring on a hand and imps. So not only do you need to be aggressive and bid for games, but you also need to do your best to try and take as many tricks as possible once you get there to earn the full point in the board-a-match form of scoring. And it tends to be split about 50-50 between how many points you earn for each of the 2 forms. So very challenging, and couple that with the lightning fast timers that these players are forced to play with. We see a lot of boards getting pulled at the end of rounds because players are just not keeping up with the pace of play. Tends to be about 7 minutes a board, as seen here. But of course, you know, if you're shuffling in between rounds, players and whatnot, or you're away from the computer for half a second because you're grabbing coffee, then you're going to have a lot less time to play through the hand. So very little thinking time. You have to play on instinct, bid on instinct. Can't be playing any of these fancy relay systems that a lot of pairs play because those auctions will take 15 minutes. Let's get into the first round though, and I think we want to start off with I was going to say one of the previous champions. I think Max BridgeChamp might have won the previous one, or maybe it was BridgeChamp A. So let's take a look at our newest team, Max BridgeChamp against McCandy. We do see a couple of robots that are in, but we'll hop on in to the first board of play. We see all the players with their cameras up. most of the players with their cameras up at least, which is nice. They'll be able to communicate with their screen mate, let them know about conventions and things, and then especially once the play starts, they'll be able to talk with everyone at the table. Although it's not completely necessary, it's just used to mimic playing in real life behind screens. A fascinating board one. North-South have a 12-card heart fit, 6-6 between the two hands, and it seems like 4 hearts is going to be the limit. East-West do have 2 club tricks available and a slow spade trick that they can develop, and there's no way for those tricks to go away from Declarer's perspective. So we'll have to see. I mean, North first gets to start. We see the round timer ticking down. I don't know if North even knows it's their bid, but we'll stick here for just a second. Hopefully there aren't any technical difficulties with the players. We would very much prefer to see them be able to make all of the choices that they want. And North's choice on the very first action is to open 2 hearts. Jack empty 6th of hearts, has a straight flush, the 3 through the 7, although that doesn't give you any extra points at the end of the deal, and an outside strong 3-card spade suit. A lot of players would be much more tempted to pass this hand, but North chooses, especially with the distribution, 6-4-3 shape, a diamond void, to come in with 2 hearts. 3 diamond overcall from East here, and South knows that partner's hand has to have something outside of hearts. Looking at all of the ace, king, queen of hearts, and 6 of them, sure, they could have 13 hearts between them. That would be an excuse to open 2 hearts with such a mediocre suit. But South must know that their partner has some extra values. Bids 4 hearts. West is definitely going to bid 5 diamonds. They have a big diamond fit here. Pass by North is... It's a tough problem for North. North has this diamond void. So North kind of wants to play offense here with the void in the opponent's trump suit, and South does balance with 5 hearts. That looks like it's actually... It's a tough decision, right? Because technically South could lead their doubleton spade and eventually get a spade ruff against 5 diamonds, as long as North-South are on the same page about the defense. But 5 hearts was the call. Got doubled, which does seem to be the winning choice for East-West, and it seems like they're off to collect plus 100 on defense here. I don't see how this could possibly go down anything other than 1. So let's actually jump back out and take a look at some of the auctions that other tables have produced. Maybe, for example, wait, oh no. Oh no, I think we have a multi-accident. Oh my. Okay, well, this has gotten very spicy very quickly for Team Adora here. North opened 2 diamonds, multi, showing a weak 2 in either major. And South, looking at ace, king, queen, 10, 6 times in hearts, believe that there's no way partner's major was hearts. So they decided to try 4 spades with their Jack Doubleton after the 3 diamond overcall. I think a lot of multiplayers would have a way to allow North to show their suit over 3 diamonds. Many of them would play 4 diamonds as a please bid your major. 4 clubs would be transfer me into your major. But maybe South was a little bit nervous about making one of those bids after the overcall, decided to bid what they thought was a practical 4 spades to play, and they got into serious trouble on this one. So let's continue jumping around the room on this board. I think this is going to be a very interesting hand all throughout. North passes at this table. I think there will be a lot of choices for pass on the kind of mediocre heart suit with the good side 3-card major. Diamond opener, South overcalls a heart, North blasts 4 hearts, and when East-West get to 4 spades, South felt compelled to try the save in 5 hearts, which feels like might have been a good decision. Hard to say, though. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on here, but 5 hearts doesn't get doubled. We already saw 5 hearts get doubled at one of the tables. Let's jump on into Harris against Team Champbot. There was a sequence. Okay, this is the next hand. I don't think we want to head on in here, but maybe we'll take a look at... well, you know what? We'll move on to hand 2. We've seen a lot of hand 1. I'd be curious to take a look at the Traveler for that board after the play, but we'll jump on into board 2 with 1 down, no down against Team Draver. East passes in first seat, South with quite a nice hand. I'm curious whether or not they're playing a precision system here. 1 club not alerted, but a lot of the players will pre-alert their opponents or let them know verbally about their system choices. 1 spade by North, South reverses into 2 hearts, so confirm they aren't playing precision. And we'll see how North handles the 7 count. Most pairs will be able to bid 2 spades natural and forcing to show 5th spade here, which could be really pivotal if South had 3 spades instead of 3 diamonds. You would be able to find your way into a 5-3 spade fit. Alternatively, if North doesn't like their hand, because Jack Doubleton and partners long suit, the club suit, queen empty 3rd and hearts, only 7 highs, no aces, North might be able to go through some sort of Lebensal type bid to show a weak hand. Instead, North elects for a 3rd option, decides to just try 3-no over the reverse, clearly expecting partner to have substantial extras for this sequence, and also right-siding the diamond stopper, just in case South's diamonds were a little bit weaker. This could be important to do so. Now, South has a bit of a problem at this stage, because normally this 3-no bid would convey some extra high cards, and South has a super maximum, 21 highs, most pair, yeah. I mean, 6 clubs is a bit ambitious, but I do understand South's hesitance to pass 3-no. So this looks like it is probably going to be down 1. The hearts split. The defense has a spade trick. There's no way for that spade loser to go away. And eventually East is going to score that king of clubs. Although, with that being said, oh my! West leads a low spade. This could let 6 clubs through. Because how do you expect East to now stick in the king? Yeah, East plays low at trick 1. Declare scoops up the stiff queen. And now all Declare has to do with the hearts splitting, granted, I mean, Declare doesn't know the hearts split, but with the hearts splitting, Declare just needs to bring the clubs home for 1 loser. And given West 10-8 Doubleton of clubs, this is going to roll home. There's nothing the defense can do, assuming Declare plays the clubs in any sensible fashion, to prevent Declare from losing just 1 club trick. Like, one option here would be to lead a low club towards the jack. That would be a very sensible plan. You're basically just playing for either the king of clubs over here, or 4 clubs to split 3-3, or the 10 to fall, for example. Doubleton, because you have the 9 of clubs. The other alternative, which it looks like Declare is rolling with here, is to cross to dummy and lead the jack of clubs for a finesse. And with East not covering, this is good play by East because East king of clubs is going to get protected. But now a club to the queen, and with the clubs splitting 4-2, Declare is going to be excellently placed to make their contract. So club to the queen here. No reason to do anything else. Ooh, Declare is now thinking about doing something very, very suspicious, I would say, which is playing a club to the 9, I think. I don't really understand this thought. Okay, they do eventually play the queen of clubs. Yeah, they're going to pull another round of trumps with the ace, I suspect. Declare is thinking about a possible trump coup against East, but they'll probably work out that that is impossible. Because the trump coup would require 3-3 hearts, and if hearts are 3-3, you may as well just cash the ace of clubs and see if the clubs split. Because to execute the trump coup, you would effectively need hearts 3-3 and diamonds 4-3 so that you can cash all of your red suit winners and rough a spade back to hand, and then you would need to exit the 8 of hearts. But when hearts split, you don't need to exit the 8 of hearts. So ace of hearts, heart to the queen. Declare leads another heart, which I think this is needlessly risky. It's very possible that West had false carded that 10 of clubs earlier. Now that the hearts have split, cash the ace of clubs. Trumps don't split, but 6 clubs comes home. This is going to be a monster result on this board for team 1 down, no down. So they're off to a good start. Let's continue jumping around the room. We'll check back in on McCandy against Max BridgeChamp on the second board. North-South have landed in 3 no trump, which seems like a very sensible place to have stopped. We did get the Lebensal bid from North, 2 no trump that I was talking about, and South overrode partner's decision by bidding 3 diamonds to show extras, and they settled into 3 no. Looks like they're doing okay in the play, although East-West did manage to collect 3 spade tricks on defense. Not sure how that happened exactly. Hearts are splitting, though. The 9 of spades is set up, and the club finesse was working either way if Declare wanted to go that route. So 3 no trump, gonna make 10 tricks. We will see a claim shortly. Let's hop back out. We'll check in on Adora against Max BridgeChamp. They're just getting started with the third board of play. South opens a heart, 5-5-10 count there. Takeout double by West. I would say the classic Italian style here, that with opening bids, you just make a takeout double. You don't really care about length in the opponent's suit. You don't really care about support for the other suits. You just do your best to show that you have some values and try and get involved in the auction. 2 clubs by North looks to be some sort of raise of hearts. And East here with a 7-card diamond suit and a singleton heart, but only 1 high card point, elects not to come into the auction. This feels like a pretty large mistake, but we'll see how it ends up playing out, because especially given that the East-West partnership kind of knows about their takeout double philosophy, maybe East is a little bit worried that partner has the small doubleton diamond instead of a small doubleton club over here, and their diamonds are going to be a little bit less valuable in that sense. But still, oh my, 2 clubs got passed. So North-South not on the same page. West reopens a double, saving North-South. Whoa. I think North just has to bid 4 hearts now. This is... wow, what a tricky spot. I mean, it's so difficult once you know that you and your partner have had a misunderstanding. How do you correct for that? And North does make, I think, the practical choice, although the losing one, of just bidding 4 hearts. Oh, we have a little friend over here with the director trying to trying to work out some sort of misunderstandings or something like that it's going on. This does present East with another bit of another problem, though, and East once again decides to go quietly, maybe paying homage to the vulnerability that unfavorable, even if 5 diamonds is a sensible save, it doesn't save a lot of imps. It would be a nice win if you get out for minus 200, if you get doubled and only go down 1, but judges to just let it go. The opponents do miss the best contract, which of course is 6 clubs. I mean, technically we can say that 6 hearts is the best contract, and maybe some pairs will reach it given the takeout double. Or if West does make any sort of noise, then the ace of spades is likely to be on side during the play. But diamond opening lead. Declare gets to ruff. Declare's gonna... Oh, actually, I just noticed something. Hearts are 4-1, so 6 hearts actually doesn't make after the ace of diamonds lead. Declare gets forced, and if they pull 4 rounds of trumps, then West is left with a diamond winner. So Declare can only make 11 tricks in hearts, but they can make 12 in clubs. This is still going to be a very interesting deal, because if they make 12 tricks in clubs, but they don't bid the slam, they lose out to every pair that gets to the heart contract. South trying to sneak a spade through. West hops up with the ace, but now will West continue forcing Declare with the king of diamonds? No, they switch to clubs, and Declare once again is in the driver's seat. Wins the club switch, now can pull 4 rounds of trumps, and is going to find out the trump split 4-1, but not the way they expected. East shows out. I was looking for a little bit of an eye roll, and we got one there from South, but very pleased with themselves that they were able to convince West not to play a second round of diamonds, which would have set up their long heart. So well done by Declare, making 12 tricks. Let's head back out, check in on the tables that are still playing. We have... I guess we'll head back to McCandy against Max BridgeChamp. On this final board, North-South got to 4 hearts. West led the ace of diamonds. And we see a little bit of a different line of play that was taken, but this is going to be one that gives West all of the information they need to defend accurately. Take a look at the bidding quickly. A heart, West passes, as many players would do. 2 no trump, some sort of game-forcing bid, and North-South find their way to 4 hearts. Once again, missing out on the superior 6 club contract. But yeah, Declare now knows that they're in trouble. After a diamond lead forcing them, they can't pull 4 rounds of trumps. Otherwise, whenever they knock out the ace of spades, the defense is going to be able to cash a diamond. So Declare is going to need to overtake this and lead a spade up immediately, but this will give West all the information they need to go up with the ace of spades, play the king of diamonds to force Declare, and then West will have a long trump eventually to take. The queen of diamonds sets up, so West decides not to take the ace on the first round of spades, which seems perfectly safe, at least for the time being. Although it would be dangerous if South started with 6 clubs. Declare crosses and hearts again. And are they going to lead another spade? Starting to get dangerous if you do that. I think at this point, Declare just needs to pull the last trump and cash out all of their clubs for 11 tricks. But we've already seen 12 tricks be made in 4 hearts. We'll stick around here as the round comes to a close and watch the final moments of this hand play out. And there it is. Declare cashes the 10 of hearts. They're going to have to pitch a card from dummy. Now they can run 5 rounds of clubs, but West, assuming they've been counting, knows Declare is out of trumps, knows they can hold on to the ace of spades and king of diamonds at the end of play, and they'll take the last 2 tricks. I wonder if anyone got to 6 clubs. I mean, this first round actually had quite a bit of action in in the bidding, because there was the possibility on that first board to get a ruff against the 5 diamond contract. We'll check in on the tournament results overall, where the teams stand. BridgeChamp A currently in the lead, 11 points. Wow. Yeah, it's out of 12 total. So they just massacred their opponents in Adora on that first set. 1 down, no down in second, Max BridgeChamp in third, and then there's a pretty big drop-off for the rest of the field. But things can change quickly. Let's take a look at some of our leaders that are still playing. We'll jump into Draver against Max BridgeChamp here. The first board of the set. A heart passes spade to start things off. South going to come in with some number of diamonds. The question really is going to be 2 or 3. Do you want to treat this hand as preemptive, or do you want to treat this hand as more constructive? South goes with the preempt. Between 2 bidding opponents, oftentimes preempting is going to be more valuable than trying to bid constructively, because your partner is a lot less likely to have some values over there. And therefore getting to, say, a thin 3 no-trump contract, if you have the values for it, is a lot less likely. So 3 diamonds going to pass around to East, who just lets it go. East-West do have 5 tricks off the top they can take. 2 spades, 2 hearts, and a club. And then from there, Declare is going to have to work on the diamond suit themselves. It does seem natural to take a diamond finesse, just because with spades being 4-3 and hearts being 5-1, East is more likely to have diamond length, although West is somewhat likely to have missing high cards given their opening bid, as opposed to East. And this is going to be a crucial second under trick that Declare is fighting for, because if Declare only loses the 5 tricks that we've already counted, 2 hearts, 2 spades, and a club, they'll get out for down 1, which might be a nice result, especially because some pairs might only overcall 2 diamonds on the South cards and sell out to the opponents, who could easily end up in 2 spades or 3 clubs, going plus 110 or plus 140 or something on those cards. Whereas if they go down 200, losing that extra trump trick to that Queen Doubleton of Diamonds offside, Declare will be doing better than those part scores, East-West. West elected to cash a high heart and then continue a second round of hearts, which makes some sense. West knows that either their partner's roughing this trick, or that their partner is following with the Queen Doubleton and forcing Declare. But this could have been a very scary play. I mean, if you switch the 10 and 9 of diamonds between the East and South hands, that 10-3 of diamonds was a very important card, because it would take a natural trump trick. Now that West has forced their partner to rough with it, Declare has the option of just playing for trumps to be 2-2 at this point, which I think they might take. So I will expect from here, Declare is going to escape for down 1. Moment of truth. This King of Clubs is the only entry Declare has to dummy. That Queen of Spades is not going to cut it. No more hard entries. So is Declare going to play a diamond to the ace, or are they going to run the Jack of Diamonds? They play a diamond to the ace. Very well done. So a possible slip up on defense for East-West. We can't be too critical of West for playing that second heart, because it's somewhat safe, but it does make Declare's job a lot easier, and that could have been the difference between a win and a loss on this board. So nothing Declare can do to make the contract from here, just running their trumps in the hopes that something goes horribly wrong for the defense. But East will hold on to the ace-king of spades. West will hold on to the ace of clubs. and this will be over very quickly. So let's head back out. We'll check in on some of the other tables that are currently playing. We'll jump into this one. We're getting started with board 5. Pass by North and by East. South here with a 17 count in third seat. Most pairs will have this in their no trump range, playing 15 to 17, but I'm not that familiar with this North-South pair. We'll see what they elect to open in third. If you are playing a slightly weaker no trump range, then you're going to have to open this a heart, of course, planning to rebid 2-no later. Either way, I expect West to come in with some sort of bid over either a no trump or a heart opening, and we'll see. So South does open a heart. Don't know if the rationale was they decided to upgrade this out of 15 to 17, or if they're just playing a different no trump range altogether. But there's the 2-diamond overcall from West. Really nice hand. 6-4, 14 count. 2 diamonds passes back around to South. A bit surprising that North with 5 spades didn't make a negative double over 2 diamonds. A lot of players might be tempted by that call, especially with a little bit of heart support, Jack Doubleton, that you're safe if partner doesn't have a spade fit and rebids 2 hearts, you're going to be okay. But showing some sign of life could be valuable there with the 7 highs. South reopens with a double. West passing. I think a lot of players, given the vulnerability, might have been tempted to bid a second time on the West cards to try and find a 3 of a minor contract if the opponents were to end up in 2 hearts or 2 spades. Wow, North still doesn't bid spades. That's shocking to me. I am all for supporting partners' opening bid, especially when their back is up against a wall. They have to reopen with a takeout double just in case we as North had some sort of penalty-oriented hand against diamonds. But once partner does that and you have this undisclosed 5-card spade suit, you can miss out on finding a big spade fit. So West does finally settle in to bid 3 clubs here. I think a lot of players might have either made that call or bid 3 diamonds directly over the balancing double. But chooses to kind of sit things out and wait. And North, I think, makes a huge error here not doubling 3 clubs with king third. North has shown nothing in this auction, right? North passed in first seat, passed over 2 diamonds, didn't make a negative double at all. All they could muster was a 2-heart bid, which is like the weakest type of action over the balancing double. And now the opponents bid up to 3 clubs. I think North missed a huge opportunity here to collect a massive penalty against the opponent's contract. And it wouldn't have been much better if East-West got to 3 diamonds, given that there's no dummy entry to the East hand. So there's no way for Declare to even try and pick up the diamond suit. They would just have to lose 3 clubs, 2 diamonds, a heart at the very least for down 2. Doubled. That would be a huge win, especially against North-South's part score. The real question might be whether or not North-South is going to reach a game and say spades at one of the other tables. And if they do, could that game possibly make? It looks like the answer to that question is no. There appear to be 2 spades, a diamond, and a heart to lose in that contract. I mean, as well as, I guess, a club might come depending on how the defense goes. But Jack of Hearts opening lead goes to the ace. So a little bit of a strange play from South, I think. If you're planning to give partner ruffs in this contract, then it's going to come at the cost of natural heart tricks. Like heart ruff here, and then if South gets in with the ace of clubs and gives partner another heart ruff, sure, that's nice, but then the jack of clubs might not score a trick. Declare going about their work, trying to, I guess, score some roughs in their own hand, unblocking the ace of spades. I'm not sure about this plan. I think it would make a lot more sense to try and set up the diamond suit at the very least. Because now the defense can start forcing Declare in spades. And this is going to lead to that diamond suit just getting completely lost. So diamond goes around to the 10 from south, who has basically gotten everything they wanted. Now they can play the queen of diamonds back. They know they can overruff dummy with the jack of clubs. I mean, this is going to be a massacre. The question is just going to be, how bad will it be? Because if West can hold the damage to minus 100 down 2, then they're going to be doing pretty well for themselves, given that North-South do make a part score. But if North-South can manage to collect 150 against this contract, or even 200 undoubled for down 3 or down 4, then this will still be a win for North-South at the end of the day. So South should know that it's safe to return a heart here, declare overcalled 2 diamonds, should be a 6-card suit, then bid 3 clubs, should be a 4-card suit, declares turned up with 2 hearts and 1 spade, so there's no danger in the 10 of hearts really becoming a trick. Instead, South cashes the spade, or tries to force Declare with the king of spades, which is a little bit strange because now that's set up the spade queen in East's hand. Declare cashes the ace of diamonds, probably would have been better to do this earlier, and is now going to rough a diamond with 7 of clubs, maybe. South will get to overruff. Yeah, but the problem at this point now is that that queen of spades is set up for a trick. So there's no way for South to force Declare again unless they lead the queen of hearts. But that'll set up the 10 of hearts in dummy. So eventually, all of Declare's side suits are going to be set up. And the only thing that that will score a trick from there is going to be the defense's clubs. And I mean, they might get quite a few of those, especially if Declare kind of misguesses the suit here and roughs with the 4 of clubs instead of the queen. But that gets overruffed. So now a spade comes back, and if Declare, okay, they go up with the spade queen. It seems as if Declare is just doing their best to try and cross rough. So that's a 5th trick for East-West. Roughing the 9 of spades will be a 6th trick for East-West. But that might be it. This fight for that 7th trick, I don't think is going to come home. So Declare does get this rough. Leads a diamond, but North can pitch their last spade. South gets to overruff with the ace of clubs, and then just pull trumps. So South needs to be on the ball here, though. Because if the 8 of clubs gets roughed with the ace, South can't afford to play back the 9 of hearts. Okay, Declare throws a heart, so now South just gets to rough in cheaply and go ace of clubs and a heart. Maybe not the most challenging Declare play or defense, but at the end of the day, North-South do come out on top, even though they don't go after a penalty for the East-West overstep. That board took quite a while to play. Let's try and find a different table to jump on into. We'll check out One Down, No Down against Harris, UK. We're on to the final board of the round now. It looks like auction-wise, North-South had some sort of standard type auction to get all the way up to 3-no on their cards. And where we come in with north-south 3 tricks in, East finally gaining the lead. Oh, I was going to say East will finally gain the lead eventually in diamonds, it seems, but Declare in the process of, I guess, just cashing out. They were worried that they were going to be stranded with no access to those spades later in the play. Otherwise, Declare had the opportunity to try and set up the club suit to score some extra tricks. So now Declare can exit a club. Oh, they don't. I was going to say Declare could exit a club, and if the defense isn't careful, Declare might have been able to score up an end play against the opponents, getting that diamond queen. But now the defense does just get to cash out. So 9 tricks, I mean, well done to make your contract. And given that North had 14 and South only had 9, this could be a really nice result for North-South because some pairs in the field might miss this game contract. So we'll jump around and take a look at who's still playing. And look at this. We do see one pair immediately has missed this game contract. So that might have been a very good choice from Declare to just cash out for 9 tricks at the end of the day. It seems at this table, the play has started a little bit differently, but Declare once again is back in hand with that jack of spades, can cash the ace, can run the heart suit. So we could see a very similar type of result, but instead Declare elects to just run the heart suit immediately. I mean, there are some positives to running the heart suit. It forces the defense to guess what to discard. They don't have a ton of information. They have to start signaling, and that can give you a bit more info about where missing honors are. But Declare is being forced to make some discards from their own hand, and given that the defense still has the ace and king of clubs, they should be able to defend somewhat accurately, although it looks like East-West have made a couple of scary plays on defense, which could cause them to lose out on a trick here. Because if West just plays back a spade, West has seen their partner pitch a spade, so they know that they're never getting back in to score that long spade. And if they do so, Declare can win, exit the club queen, East will be in with no spades and no clubs, and East will have to lead a diamond away from the king, giving Declare the rest of the tricks. That would be 10 tricks in the no trump contract. So the way to both avoid an end play and to set up some tricks themselves is for West to switch to diamonds here. They don't work it out, though. They play a spade back, and now Declare can exit a club. Oh, but they don't. Declare just cashes the diamond ace. So that was a 2-trick swing there on Declare cashing that ace of diamonds. It was always safe to exit a club. The defense could take at most the king of clubs, the king of diamonds, and a spade at the end of play, and so you'd still get your ace of diamonds if you needed to, if you exit a club and it doesn't work out for you. So a little bit lazy by Declare, not really going for that extra chance, and ends up costing them possibly half a board. It's 2 tables still in play. Let's head over to this room to take a look. And yeah, look at this. No one's getting to 3-0 on this hand. North-South. So interesting deal here that Declare does not have an entry to the ace of spades or the queen jack of clubs if those were to set up. East-West have managed to stick Declare in the south hand, forcing them to either run their heart suit or lead up towards the diamond queen. Cashes the 7 of hearts to pitch a spade. Force one more discard out of the opponents. But now what? Do we cash the 4 of hearts? Because if we do, dummy gets squeezed a little bit. You'd have to make an uncomfortable discard from that collection. So instead, elects to place diamond to the queen immediately. East able to win, cashes the king of clubs, setting up another stranded winner in the dummy, and can now exit a diamond. And Declare is back in their hand. I don't know why West is holding on to all their spades. I mean, it was very risky to pitch a diamond there. But, oh my! And East exits the 10 of diamonds. So Declare just has the rest. Wow. I mean, this went from a beautiful defense from East-West to a little bit of a missed discard from West, and then East kind of coupled that with playing back the 10 of diamonds, which ended up blowing a trick at the end of the hand. Amazing. So back to plus 150, but that plus 400 that I think Team Adora was able to bring home, or maybe it was Team One Down, No Down that we were watching. That ended up being the top score on the board from what we saw. We'll take a look at the standings after round 2. BridgeChamp A and Max BridgeChamp, as well as One Down, No Down, top 3 teams. Team ChampBot getting in the mix in 4th place just to fill out the movement. We needed a team of robots because we're playing 7 rounds with only 7 teams that have entered. Let's take a look at... I'm trying to see some of the teams that we haven't been following too much. I mean, and also avoiding watching some of the robot tables if possible. We'll check out One Down, No Down against Adora here. South opens a spade in first seat. Beautiful 17 count. 5-4 in the majors. North will get to bid a no trump. One of these forcing or semi-forcing no trumps. South can rebid 2 hearts. Or actually for the Italians, they'll probably be playing Gazilli. So we may see that convention come through. A spade, a no trump, 2 clubs from South, which would show any hand with clubs, but also possibly a strong hand of 17 or more high card points, which is what South has here. So I expect we'll see that start to the auction. Oh, East and West are both offline. Uh-oh. Maybe this is why we haven't been following this table. We will back out for a second then and jump into one of the other rooms. We'll follow... oh, that is another bot table. Let's head over here. So a spade, a no trump, 2 clubs, Gazilli. This is the convention that I was kind of announcing. 2 diamonds is going to show 8 or more high card points. So this is now game forcing opposite the strong hand. 3 clubs is wild by East. So preempts are effective the sooner you get them in, which is why for a lot of pairs we want to preempt 2 hearts or 2 spades as quickly as possible. That's why these bids are described as weak in most bidding systems. And it's also more effective before the opponents have communicated anything about what their hands look like. So here, if East wanted to make a preemptive 3 club bid, they should have bid it over 1 no trump. I'm not going to say could, like this is definitely a clear error from East to wait for a round, let them communicate that they have a game force, and then bid 3 clubs. Now the opponents, if they wanted to double you, which they could have, South offered, although it was takeout, they could have done so. Regardless, North-South do find a heart fit. They get to 4 hearts, which I think is going to be the field contract, although we might reach it in a slightly different manner. This does get the club lead from West, which is nice for the defense. I mean, I think West probably would have led a club anyway on an auction that reached 4 hearts, given that spades was South's opening suit, and you don't want to lead away from an ace, and of course you're not going to lead from queen third of trumps. So, but this does help West kind of get a better picture of the hand now that East has a club suit. King of spades, spade to the ace. And now probably the 10 of spades. Declare does not want the 10 of spades covered. They just want the 10 of spades to be able to pitch a club. So it would be best defense by West to cover the 10 of spades. This is kind of a clever kind of declarer play attempt. When you have 2 equal honors, if you don't want the honor to be covered, you lead the lower one. If you want the honor to be covered, you lead the higher one, because a lot of players will just kind of naturally default to covering an honor with an honor. So good play by South, leads the 10 of spades, doesn't get covered, able to pitch the losing club from dummy, and force East to ruff. And this way, Declare is going to have a little bit better control of the trump suit, at least so they think. Now, East could switch to a diamond here, and this would present Declare with a little bit of a guess. If Declare misguesses the diamonds, then not only does West get to win the ace, capturing the king as they would later in the play anyway, but they would be able to play another spade through and Declare would be in a bit of trouble. Instead, East passively plays back a heart. Now Declare knows that the hearts don't split. Ooh, so ruffs a spade. But now what's going to happen is West is going to get in with the diamond ace and pull dummy's last trump. And then that queen of clubs is going to get stranded. Jack of diamonds led, covered to the queen and king. West does get to win the ace, pull the last trump, cash a club, and East gets the 10 of diamonds. So this is going to be a huge win for East-West, although most of the field is going to end up in 4 hearts, and this is not going to be a pretty contract, but challenging board to play, does end up with 4 hearts going down 2. Let's head into a different room, see if we can take a look at what's happening on this board around all the tables. We'll hop over into McCandy against Team Draver. Didn't get to see the first couple of tricks. Let me just back up to follow what happened. So same opening lead, club to the ace. Declare immediately played a diamond to the king, working on the diamond suit. Another club came to the king. Wow. Then East decided to give Declare a rough sluff to pitch their diamond loser. That's shocking. And it seems like the way that everything has played out, Declare can actually just pull the last trump and then try and guess the spades, but they'll end up making 4 hearts. So we saw 4 hearts go down 2 already, where Declare didn't necessarily do anything wrong. They just mistimed the play, misguessed a couple of the crucial suits. But yeah, here Declare can make 4 hearts, and it looks like Declare is thinking about playing for more, in fact. At some point, you do need to take your foot off the gas. That if you get enough friendly defense and help from the defenders, you probably should just safely cash out and make your contract, even playing at the board a match form of scoring or pattern form of scoring. So like here, technically Declare, if they thought the Queen of Spades was over here, could run the Jack of Spades and hope that the Queen comes down, Jack of Spades, spade to the king, ruff a diamond back, cash the ace. But that would just be unnecessarily risky. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Spade back to the Jack, it takes the finesse. Diamond suit forces Declare, but Declare's hand is high. 4 hearts making 4 is going to be a huge win there for Team McCandy. Let's keep jumping around. We'll head over to this table now, where we're in the midst of playing board 8. Bidding wise, a heart, 2 diamonds, 4 heart bid. I'm just going to get caught up in the play really quick. So King of Diamonds opening lead. Declare elected to pull a couple rounds of trumps. And now the defense has cashed a diamond. Declare tries the Queen of Clubs, hoping for North to not cover. Up with the ace, and now Declare can claim all but one more trick. The Jack of Clubs is going to take a third trick. We'll stick around at this table. That was a pretty fast hand. Watch them play the final board of the set. I don't think we've seen too many of these teams yet today. So East has a 14 count, gets to decide what to do in second seat. If this is in their no trump range, we'll get to see that opening bid. Otherwise, maybe a diamond. Or if they're playing the more common transfers over a club or short club, East might open a club with the 3-4-4-2 shape. East does open a no trump. So no announcement on the range, but they probably told the opponents what size it is. And now West has, I think, a pretty straightforward transfer to spades and then show your club suit game forcing. 5-5, 10 count. Could be the case that you want to play in 5 clubs with a hand like this, even with a minimum in terms of high cards for your game force, just because of all the extra shape and the values concentrated in the 2 suits. So a popular convention here is transfers over transfers. After this 2 spade bid, many Wests will be able to bid 2 no trump. Here we are. 2 no alerted as game forcing, but it's probably a transfer to clubs is what's going on. So we should see 3 clubs from East. Or maybe 3 spades. 3 spades makes a lot of sense as well, just to confirm the spade fit. If you have a club fit, why do you care that you have it once you found the major suit fit, right? So 3 spades, 4 spades, they found the fit. West happy to leave the contract there. And as West moves to a different spot in their place, Wi-Fi signal cuts out on the camera, but East is the one declaring. Trump lead from South is interesting. It can be right on these 2 suited auctions to lead a trump, and so maybe that was South's thought process, that with Queen 9, 4th of clubs, we want to prevent as many ruffs as possible, which is looking like what they might be doing. An alternative would have been to try and lead one of the red suits to possibly score some tricks before they could, say, go away on the long clubs, or go away on just Declare being able to pull trumps and then set up tricks elsewhere. North wins the Spade King at trick 1, pushes a diamond through, looking at that doubleton diamond and dummy. So South wins the ace. Plays back a diamond. Wow. Surprising. I mean, you would expect that South, having started the attack on trumps, would have continued the attack on trumps. Just win the ace of diamonds and play a second spade, right? That had to be the plan. Oh, but Declare pulls the second trump themselves. So I think a pretty big missed opportunity for both Declare and South here. Declare had all high trumps except for the whatever that small spade was in dummy. I'm sorry, I missed the spot. But yeah, now Declare just doesn't even go after roughing the club suit good. This is crazy. So Declare could have effectively claimed 11 tricks by cashing the ace of hearts, cashing the ace king of clubs, and just cross-roughing the rest of the hand. Just roughing a heart with that small spade. I mean, it's pretty unlikely hearts are 7-1 on this auction, right? So this was a pretty big mistake by Declare. Only costs an over trick, so it's not like four spades is going to go down, but still could have easily made 11 tricks there. We'll hop over to a different table and see what's going on. Let's check in on one down, no down against Adora here. They're in the midst of playing four spades, and it does seem as if Declare has adopted this cross-rough plan in this room. We haven't exactly seen how the hand's playing out, but it looks like Declare has roughed the club suit good and now needs to work on both trumps and diamonds to set up a diamond trick as well as to pull trumps. So Jack of Spades going to run around to the king. But with spades splitting, Declare gets to rough the queen of hearts, pull trumps, spades come home. I'm not sure where North's third trump went, but it looks like it probably wasn't going to matter either way. Declare instead decides to lead a diamond up to the king immediately. Trump comes back, but Declare now has the rest, can pull trumps and claim for the 11 tricks, as we kind of expected from some of the other tables. So we'll let this board play out. Not sure what the result is in the other table in this match, but it does look like currently one down, no down was a little bit behind coming into this board. They lost maybe another fraction of a point here on this final board. Not the greatest round for them. We have one table still in play. I guess we'll hop back over here. They're in the midst of bidding this final hand, so I don't know if this was because they started a little bit late or if they had a bit of slow play earlier. One club from East, this... an interesting system. So they're playing one club is forcing for a round and could be short, but it doesn't look like it's precision. Club opening lead from North. It's played from the other direction. And I mean, East-West didn't exchange much information at all. West 2 club bid was just a puppet to 2 diamonds. I guess East overrode that by bidding 2 spades, showing the 3-card spade support, and then they got to their 5-3 spade fit. A lot of players would have been much more tempted to lead a heart from North's hand, I think, for reasons that with such a weak hand, your partner's likely to have values in almost every other suit, and you may as well try and attack aggressively against an auction like this to set up your side tricks. But after the club opening lead, Declare really wants to try and pull trumps, so they elect to cross to the ace of hearts, take a spade hook. Now North is in, knows they aren't getting a club rough anymore, so it's got to be right to work on one of the red suits, and the question is going to be, do you switch to diamonds or do you play back a heart, hoping that either your partner gets a rough or that you can force Declare. North switches to diamonds, which is going to help Declare take the rest of the tricks if they are careful. South gets in. South returns a trump. But now, as long as Declare wins the ace of spades, good play, unblocks the ace of clubs, and then crosses back to the west hand to rough the club suit good with that 10 of spades. Yeah, very well done from Declare. Is going to end up making the same 11 tricks that we saw at many of the other tables. So now just a heart ruff with the 4 of spades, rough the club high, rough a heart high because the 9 of spades has fallen, and then pull the last trump, and clubs and diamonds will come home for 11 tricks. So well done. They are going to finish on time with 2 minutes left to play in the round. Tricky hand to play. I think there are opportunities for both Declare and defenders to kind of fight for that third trick on defense, as well as that 11th trick on offense. And it seems like many of the Declarers did get this problem right, bringing home 650. Yeah, very well done. So this is the last board in play for this segment. And it looks like McHandy actually taking a win over Draver in the set. We'll check in on how the results are looking after this 4th round. Or after the 3rd round, sorry, with 9 boards in. BridgeChamp A up in first, Harris UK in second, Max BridgeChamp in third, followed closely by One Down, No Down, and Team ChampBot. A couple of the other teams towards the bottom of the standings. But let's jump into the next set. We have... Still, it doesn't seem like many of our top teams are playing against each other yet. Hopefully we'll get those matchups soon. Let's watch BridgeChamp A against Draver. We'll check out this room for the start of the 4th round of play. Board 10. East passes in first seat. I know some players who'd be tempted to open that, myself included. 10 count with 5 spades. Decent spot cards. I mean, 5-3-3-2. South opens a heart. Another 10 count. This one a little bit better than the East hand, although fewer controls, a bunch of jacks. So a heart, a spade. East not coming into the auction now, with North bidding their long suit. 2 hearts, kind of a minimum here from South. North will make some sort of game-forcing bid. A lot of players will have to utilize 3 clubs as an artificial game force here over 2 hearts. Or apparently they play both 3 clubs and 3 diamonds are natural in some sense. A 3-card suit is not often treated as natural, but it is natural enough. So 3 diamonds, natural and forcing. South tries 3 no with the club stopper. And we'll see if North decides to sit this or if North decides to pull it back to 4 spades. I mean, if North bids 4 spades, I know what East is going to do at that point. But even if North doesn't pull this to 4 spades, I think East might still go after a penalty. The Queen Jack 10 5th of spades, I mean, for one thing, penalty doubling 3-0 would say lead dummy's first bid suit, and that's spades. East really does want a spade lead. East doesn't want their partner to lead diamonds or clubs necessarily. I mean, a club into King 9/3 is probably okay. But leading spades will definitely help to set up tricks in East's hand where East has some entries. The Ace of Hearts and King of Clubs could easily be entries. So I'm a bit surprised that East didn't double 3-0. Club opening lead. So what is Declare's plan? probably, if you go after hearts, you're going to be a bit too slow. So Declare might need to go after spades. Or remember, Declare doesn't know spades are 5-1 because East didn't double. So club to the 8. I mean, the first question is East going to play the king or the 9? East elects to play the king. And yeah, Declare does go after spades. Like, we can kind of see that if Declare plays on hearts, they don't really have enough entries to the south hand to be able to set them up and cash them. Even though the queen 10 of diamonds can provide an entry, the jack of clubs is very unlikely to, with West sitting over there with one of the club honors. So yeah, the king of spades sees West show out, and now Declare is just in massive trouble. Goes after the heart suit. Heart to the 10. West gets to win the king. But East has set up 3 natural spade tricks at this point. And great defense by West here, continuing a low club rather than the queen. Keeps communication in the club suit. Okay, last moment for Declare to try and score up some tricks. I think it is important for them to try and take this diamond finesse. If Declare exits a heart, East is going to be able to cash a heart, 3 spades, and 2 more clubs. And so West will just hold on to that queen doubleton of clubs in the end position. So West can pitch a heart and 2 diamonds on these 3 spades and eventually score up the queen doubleton of clubs for down 3, it seems. It never feels great to be minus 300 in a freely bid game, but South's aggressive opening, as well as just the fact that everything split so badly, ended up costing North-South. Yeah, 6 of clubs is good, and Declare can claim not needing the diamond finesse at this point, but could have escaped for down 2. We'll see what happens at some of the other tables. Let's check in on McCandy against Harris UK. We see North-South getting to 2 spades. Pass, pass, pass. 3 passes go around to North, who opens 2 spades in third seat, and it looks like they barely managed to bring that contract home despite the bad trump split. Plus 110. So that's going to be a good result for North-South. Just going plus on that board. We'll check in over here. North-South get to 4 hearts at this table. South opens a multi-2 diamonds. And this, for a lot of pairs, is going to be a bit of a stronger bid. So maybe like in the 8 to 11 high card point range, which is exactly what South had. South had 10. So that's an ideal description of the South hand. North-South do get to 4 hearts. And with the spots and the heart suit splitting a little bit better than the spade suit, 4 hearts actually only goes down a trick, which is not so bad at the end of the day. Still would be nice to go plus, but plus 100 for East-West. Okay, we're getting into board 11, second board of the round. Here, South opens a diamond in first seat. Rodden 11 count with an ace and 2 kings, but a couple of nice spot cards and 10s and 9s. West overcalls a spade. Pass by North. Surprising. I mean, I think most pairs would bid a no trump with the North hand. 8 high card points and a spade stopper. 2 clubs by East. West bids 2 no. That's aggressive, if I have to say. East bids 3 no, of course. And finally, North comes in with a double. I mean, maybe this was North's plan all along. Feign weakness by never taking a call and get East-West to kind of bid up until they get a little bit too high. I mean, I suppose the real question is, does this go down? It has to. East-West just have no tricks anywhere, even if North doesn't find the right opening lead. But I would say a heart lead is somewhat attractive from North's hand. I know that South opened a diamond, but neither opponent's bid hearts. So it sounds as if your partner has 4 of them over there. But sure. Lead partner suit, leads a diamond, up with the king at trick 1. Interesting. Declare could have ducked that around to their own hand and actually set up 3 natural diamond tricks based on the spot cards, but elects to win the diamond king to lead the queen of hearts. And this is a pretty strange play because Declare always has 2 heart tricks, but they're never going to take a third unless the hearts split. And if the hearts split, they don't need to lead the queen of hearts from dummy. And they're always going to lose a trick along the way, right? This would have looked a little bit silly if North had, say, King Doubleton of Hearts, for example. You lead the Queen of Hearts into North's king, and South still has a natural trump or a natural heart trick to back it up. So yeah, I feel like Declare has made a couple of strange choices in the first couple of tricks, and this could end up costing them. The Jack of Hearts now. Wow. I really don't understand that play of the Jack of Hearts. Because even if you were able to pin a Doubleton 10 or 9 of hearts in North, you would still have 2 more heart losers. Okay. Declare is just praying for the hearts to split. Yeah, South caches another heart. North having thrown a spade already, encouraging. North feels obligated to pitch another spade. Diamond comes back to the ace, 10 of diamonds to set up the 9 in South's hand. South has the king of clubs. I mean, everything's just going wrong for Declare on this one. Club to the queen. Yep. South gets to win. Cash the 9 of diamonds as North throws a club. And eventually, Declare is going to get a club trick with the ace, but that's going to be the last trick that they take. Jack of spades to the queen and king. Club comes back. North gets to score up the jack of clubs, and then the ace of spades will be the defense's 8th trick against 3 no trump doubled. 800 out of nowhere. Wow. I don't think we'll see that in many other tables. Let's jump around the room. We'll check in on BridgeChamp A against Draver on this board. And yeah, we do see, I would say, kind of the more normal auction that we're going to be noticing around the room. A club, a spade, a no trump by North, all pass. Maybe some pairs will be able to bid 2 clubs natural there, but I don't think for most of them 2 clubs would be forcing. And so West would be able to, of course, pass 2 clubs with a singleton club. Just getting caught up with the play for a second here. Declare is going to be able to win the 9 of diamonds on this trick. And given the spade overcall, Declare will be able to bring the spade suit home for 3 tricks here. But instead, they elect to exit the 9 of hearts. No harm in doing this, I don't think. Because Declare can still take their 3 spade tricks at the end, or at this point, their 2 spades and the jack of clubs at the end of play, or 2 spades and the 10 of hearts that's been set up. So North-South are in 1 no. They do go down a trick, but that is kind of to be expected. We'll check in on some of the other tables. I don't think we've been over here yet. Harris UK against McHandy. We do see East-West getting to bid 2 clubs on this board. 3 passes, in fact. East opening a club a spade, or a club, a takeout double by passed hand South. The 11 count not good enough for them to open in their system. And then the 2 club rebid on the 6 card suit. West in first seed. Nice little 16 count over there. Should be well within most pairs' no trump ranges, unless they're playing a weak no trump. And 1 no all pass might end the auction. These are probably the most difficult types of hands to be playing at board match scoring or Patton form of scoring is 1 no trump all pass. Because every trick matters, and that means every decision matters as well. 1 no here announced as 15-17, so perfectly within East-West's no trump range for the 16 count, 5 card club suit. North on lead. 2 options, both major suits. I think it tends to be better to not lead away from aces into a no trump all pass. So ace 4th, maybe not the most ideal suit to lead from, but hard to necessarily argue with leading 4th best from your longest and strongest. South gets to stick in the 8 of hearts at trick 1, force out the king, and then Declare can go to work on clubs. And you just got to play clubs out of your own hand. So whether you lead the king, or Declare gets a little bit greedy, leads a diamond towards the queen, hoping to both get an entry to dummy and to find the queen of clubs on side. Now, this is not going to work out the way that they had hoped. Diamond goes to the king. And so South is in, does get to switch to a low spade. Declare is going to be thrilled that the queen of spades is on side. Meaning they have a little bit more time to try and set up their own tricks, but unfortunately, because they haven't started working on the club suit, now the defense is going to get in twice in clubs. Oh my. So Declare plays a heart to the queen, which wins. North could have hopped up with the ace of hearts to prevent that. Wait, we're now playing diamonds? Hold on. I have no idea what's happening anymore. I mean, I assume that Declare's whole plan was to try and get a dummy entry so that they could run the 10 of clubs, taking a club finesse. But it appears that that's not what's going on anymore. Yeah, so now Declare got stuck in hand. They have to lead clubs out of hand. Fortunately for them, the queen of clubs is offside anyway. Oh! And North ducks the queen of clubs, giving Declare an entry. I mean, I honestly don't blame North for doing this, because how could... Declare forgets to cash the 8 of diamonds? This is just going downhill quickly. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at what we're seeing. I mean, this can easily happen in these short rounds. Players miss spot cards all the time. They don't come up with the best line of play. Now North cashes the ace of hearts, dropping partner stiff jack. And they do finally play a spade back. So hopefully South ducks. No. Oh, man. North now gets end played. If Declare guesses correctly which red suit winner to keep, but it sounds like Declare doesn't think the 8 of diamonds is a winner. They pitch a heart, though. I'm losing my mind over here. This look at North. He's cracking up. He loves it. I mean, honestly, that's what Speedball Bridge is all about. Cards flying, lots of mistakes being made all around the room. Let's jump into the last table to see just what's happening on this final board of play. It looks like Declare in this room took a more conventional approach, went about setting up the club suit themselves. We don't exactly see how the play developed, but Declare has... Oh, and the diamonds are all good too. I didn't realize. Wow. So Declare set up clubs and somehow managed to set up diamonds along the way, which means Declare ends up making 120. We'll take a look at the end of round 4. Our scores currently stand BridgeChamp and Max BridgeChamp, both of the host teams, doing quite well for themselves in first and second. McHandy, after that topsy-turvy board that we just saw all over the place, they're up in third, tied with ChampBot and the rest of the teams down the standings. Moving into round 5 of 7, we still got 9 exciting boards to play. Let's try and follow... let's check out this table. We have 1 down, no down against BridgeChamp A. North opens a strong no trump. 15 count over there. Transfer to hearts from South. East-West going to stay out of this one. So how high are North-South going to be able to get? Because both 6 hearts and 6 diamonds look like pretty good contracts on the North-South cards. 6 diamonds may be a little bit better because you can handle a 4-1 diamond split, whereas in a heart contract, they might get a diamond rough. So 2 diamonds, 2 hearts transfer, 3 diamonds from South natural. And now with North bidding 3 no, maybe a bit of a mistake by North. I mean, I can understand the 3 no bid with a minimum and no heart fit, but I would be very tempted to bid 3 spades as North on these cards because I don't have a heart fit. But with all of my controls and a nice diamond fit that we've now discovered, the King of Hearts Doubleton is a perfect card where if partner happens to be, say, 5-5 in the red suits, we can rough all of partner's heart losers in my hand and then use the Queen Jack of diamonds to help pull trumps, as well as the aces that North has, make it kind of ideal for playing in a suit contract if South has extras. So I would have been very tempted to try 3 spades to cast a little bit of doubt on the no trump contract, but 3 no, very understandable. South electing to just pass 3 no. I feel like South has missed the mark on this one because with 15 highs, I don't know what the no trump range was. It doesn't say, but that's also an excellent hand with a small singleton spade. You're pretty excited about the prospects of a slam if partner has a fitting hand of any kind. I mean, partner could even have 5 clubs over there, and you could find slam in 6 clubs. So I don't know what South should do over 3 no. I mean, 4 no is a practical choice. 4 clubs is a practical choice. East-West do not find the best opening lead against 3 no. A spade lead, which I think many players would have chosen from East's hand, King, Queen, 4th, would have been a lot more effective, setting up tricks for the defense. 3 no would still make, but it would not have made 12 tricks. Let's check in on another table, though. We do like jumping around. Don't want to just stick with any one table. Let's head over here to Draver against Harris UK. Ooh, okay. So we do have this transfers over transfers sequence that I talked about earlier. 2 diamonds transfer to hearts. 3 clubs was a transfer to diamonds. 4 or more diamonds game force. 3 diamonds shows a fit. And now this is crucial because in the previous sequence where 3 diamonds was the natural game force from South, North didn't have a lot of bidding room. So North would have had to invent a 3 spade bid basically to get their point across that like they had some doubt about 3-no trump. Here, North able to bid 3 diamonds directly. South rebids 3 hearts, I guess just kind of waiting for more info. North decides to confirm at this point that diamonds are trumps. So I guess what this means is that 3 hearts not only just is waiting, but it also says, I'm interested in slam. Because otherwise, North, having already showed a diamond fit, might be tempted to do something other than just confirm 4 diamonds has to be trumps. I mean, I would expect this bid most of the time to have a 5th diamond with it. 4-no trump key card, 5 spades shows 2 key cards and the diamond queen. So now the real question, though, from South, because at the Patton form of scoring, it could be important for us to play this contract in hearts, not diamonds. So is South going to bid 6 diamonds, or is South going to bid 6 hearts? South bids 6 diamonds. We'll see if that decision comes back to bite them, because I think that there are pairs who would find their way to 6 hearts here on the North-South cards. Like, you can imagine that North has King Doubleton of hearts for the sequence, so South knows that the trump suit, despite only having 7 of them, is not a problem as long as the hearts split in a reasonable manner, 3-3 or 4-2. And I guess while we're waiting, we can show off the cool, I was going to say, we can show off the cool feature on the site. Here we go. Now that we can see the dummy with the heart splitting, we see that a 3-3 or a 4-2 heart split would have equated to about 84% of the time. So if that's really all you need for 6 hearts to be a making slam, then you're going to score more in the board match form than the pairs who reach 6 diamonds, and that could be a huge win. The flip side of that is that if pairs are missing 6 diamonds, as we already saw at one of the tables, then you don't need to be as aggressive in pursuing a 5-2 fit or a 7-card fit for a slam just because it's in a major as opposed to a minor suit. Just getting to slam might be enough to win the board. Declare not claiming just yet because there is a trump outstanding, wanting to be as careful as possible before showing their hand, just in case there's any sort of rough coming. But that seems pretty unlikely. All right, a trump comes back. Now Declare can claim the rest. And 6 diamonds making 6. Good start to them. Let's check in on the other table in this match. Draver against Harris, UK. South opens a diamond in second seat. North bidding a spade. And after North-South find their spade fit, in the 5-3, it looks like East-West had no intention of competing on this one. East-West do have a club fit and do have more than half of the high cards in the deck, so it would have been valuable at this vulnerability, no one vulnerable, for them to find a way into the auction if possible. Spade lead goes around to the king, and an immediate club switch from West. Feels natural for Declare to just stick in the jack. Kind of a bit of a restricted choice decision that if East isn't leading clubs, then they're more likely to have the ace than West. Club comes back through to the king, and now Declare can rough their club loser. And then take the roughing hook and diamonds, set up the entire diamond suit, pull trumps, and take the rest of the tricks. Looking like plus 170 is or it seems like plus 170 is a pretty likely result. I think there's a strong case to be, but instead of roughing the club, Declare takes a diamond hook. Wow. Now, but West returns a diamond. West could have knocked out the ace of hearts by playing a heart throw, and then Dummy's diamond suit would have been completely stranded. Oh man. Oh man. Again, we're seeing a bunch of errors all around on these boards, and that really is just due to the pace of play. Like, it is, bridge is already a hard enough game, but add in, the fact that you have to make all of your decisions in such a short time frame, and we're going to see mistakes all over the place. Let's check back in on some of the other tables that we have available to us. I mean, still a lot of robots in the event. We'll hop back over here as they're getting started with board 15. South opens a heart, North game forces with 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, a waiting bid from South. I do really like this treatment personally, that when 2 clubs is kind of an artificial game force, South really wants to make the cheapest bid possible, kind of like a relay system to get more information. North-South do get to 3-0, and the East leads the unbid spade suit. Clubs don't split for Declare, which means that Declare is going to have to spend a little bit of time knocking out that 4th round of clubs for a trick. The spade lead is going to set up 2 tricks for the defense. Spade to the ace and a spade back will set up East Queen, although eventually that means Declare can actually score a second spade trick themselves. The Jack of Diamonds does fall, although at match points or border match scoring, you might be tempted to try a diamond finesse at some point in the play. And if you take that diamond finesse the wrong direction, East will score up that Jack of Diamonds. So let's just see how the opening play starts. Declare puts up the 7 of spades from dummy at trick 1. Doesn't really cost squandering that 7, so it might have forced West to make a suboptimal play, is possible. West actually switching to diamonds makes some sense. West realizes that playing back a spade, looking at that Jack 10 4th, a little bit futile. So switches to a diamond to the 10 Jack and ace. And now what's Declare doing? It looks like Declare's going after the heart suit. Spade to the king so that they can take a heart finesse. Maybe. Maybe what they're actually doing is setting up the long spade. Okay, they do take a heart finesse. This is scary, because if West's hearts were a little bit better, West might have been able to return hearts here. And that would set up an extra defensive trick before the Queen of Spades was knocked out or before the long club was dislodged. So it may have been a little bit better for Declare to use the King of Clubs entry to knock out this Queen of Spades rather than taking the heart finesse. But no harm. The defense wasn't able to establish a second heart trick, and Declare just has the rest. 3-0 making 4. Well done. It feels like a pretty nice result there for team 1 down, no down. Let's actually look in at the other table, because they're in the midst of playing the final board and they only make 9 tricks. So yeah, even though they only gain 1 imp on the board in terms of the imp result, they do pick up the full point in the border match. There is... This table is already finished. We still got a handful of tables still playing. So let's head back over to Draver against Harris UK as they finish up the final board in 3-0. What a fascinating position to have ended up in. So West probably could have returned the Jack of Hearts there. I wasn't following exactly what happened on that trick, but Declare was able to score an extra heart trick for free and now can cash out. All the diamonds are set up. That 5 of clubs is a winner. So we don't know exactly how the play started or developed on this deal, but it does look like Declare is managing to take 10 tricks, as we saw at one of the 2 other tables that we already watched. Let's head back in to the other table in this room, though, or in this match, and see how they're getting on. South opens a diamond, North bids a spade. South rebids 2 clubs is interesting, showing 6 or more diamonds. Fascinating. So I wonder how they would show clubs. I guess 2 diamonds would show clubs then. They just invert those 2 bids. That's a fascinating treatment. This is the same pair that was playing transfers over a no trump, which I wouldn't say is all that unusual, but we haven't seen it among many of the teams here just yet. Also, this is board 14. I just remembered. They have 5.5 minutes to play the last 2 boards. I think someone's getting penalized, and I don't know. I don't really know who's at fault. I don't think we have the times on screen here. But, oh, now we know what's going on. East is having some tech problems. So that's a little bit unfortunate. And we hope that those get resolved soon so that the play can continue. Let's see, are there any other tables still playing? We've got McCandy against Adora. 2 no trump doubled on this board. They also are on board 14 and still have a board to play. What ended up happening here? Looks like Declarer is in a lot of trouble. They're going to lose the last 2 tricks and go down 3 in this contract. It looks like they could have unblocked the ace of spades to score the jack earlier and got out for down 2, but not really the spot you wanted to end up in. Yeah, we saw quite a few pairs playing in that spade part score, north-south. It looked like one pair was maybe going to play in the diamond part score, north-south. But 2 no trump. How did this auction get here? A diamond, a takeout double, and East decided to bid 2 no with the flat 10 count. Yeah, this can happen for the Italian pairs, right? I mean, we saw them earlier. I think it was the same partnership ending up, hopefully we'll get the next board on the table shortly so that they have a chance to play it in 3 minutes. But yeah, it was the same pair who earlier elected not to jump in diamonds to preempt the auction with a long diamond suit after a takeout double, but here with a bunch of high cards, but a flat hand, elected to try no trump. So heart, 2 clubs, same start to the auction at basically every table that we've seen. And we'll see if South's rebid is 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, or 2 spades, probably. I think all of those possibilities are in play based on their agreements. South rebids 2 spades, shaping out. Now North can bid 2 no. And probably should do so. So 2 no, 3 no is going to be the conclusion of the auction. East on lead. I think somewhat likely to lead a red suit. The question might just be which one. Diamond feels pretty sensible. It is the fourth suit, the unbid suit. So if East does indeed lead a diamond, that'll give Declare 4 diamond tricks, 3 clubs. Declare can work on spades themselves to set up an 8th trick, and the Ace of Hearts, of course, is going to be a 9th. The diamond lead does cut communication, though, for Declare a little bit. Declare will have to take the free finesse. Oh, but East leads a spade. I think a bit of a strange lead, given that Dummy is known to have 4 spades on this auction. The Queen 9/4 is not really a holding that you're expecting to develop tricks in when Dummy has spade length. So opening spade lead, probably going to go around to West's ace. And will we see the diamond come back through as we saw at a previous table? We might. No, spade comes back. Spade up with the king. One minute to go in the play. I think it's probably right to try and set up the spade trick. The danger is that it lets East in, and East will be able to lead a heart through before Declare knows if the clubs are splitting. So Declare, rather than trying to go about setting up spades, first works on clubs. Club to the king, ace of clubs, queen of clubs. See if the suit splits. It does not. Pitch a heart. Continues a club. So East is going to win. Oh, but they ran out of time. That can happen. Let's check the results before we get into the 6th round. Max BridgeChamp out to a big lead, 6 points, so about half a round. And BridgeChamp A sitting in 2nd. McCandy is now in 3rd, but they are way back. And then the rest of the teams down the rest of the leaderboard. We still haven't had BridgeChamp A playing up against Max BridgeChamp as far as I can tell, and that's going to be the match to watch. So that could be later in the round. Let's head over here. BridgeChamp A against Harris UK. 2 passes go around to 2 diamonds from East, just a weak 2 in 3rd seat. South could make a takeout double if they want. 10 count, but they're favorable. Partner's a passed hand, so it's pretty unlikely that you're going to get buried for this. Instead, rather than making the takeout double, South elects to overcall 3 clubs, and you do have a 6-card club suit. The danger in doing so is that partner might expect you to have a little bit more in the way of values for this 3-club overcall. I mean, partner probably expects you to have more for a takeout double as well, but this commits your side to the 3 level. So 3 clubs, 3 diamond, increasing the preempt from West. North makes a responsive double, and so South can bid 3 hearts. With equal length in the 2 suits, you would prefer to bid hearts, so that in situations like this, you end up in the longer heart fit. And this means that it's a little bit more attractive. Oh, wow, and South bids 4 clubs. I mean, this probably passes out at this point. But this is certainly not where North-South wanted to end up. North bids 4 hearts? What is that? I don't believe it. How did North know that South had a heart fit? Wow. That's crazy. I mean, South could just have long clubs, right? They overcalled 3 clubs and they bid 4 clubs. That's kind of an unbelievable decision from North, but it salvages a bit of a disaster on the hand. So I guess the question is, will this contract make? Ace of diamonds opening lead. East is in. Continues a diamond. So Declare does get to rough the diamond suit in dummy. I still think this is probably going to end up going down a trick. The 4-1 heart split is a little bit too much for Declare to handle. And Declare also needs to work on the spades themselves. So, you know, like spade to the... Yeah, they play a spade to the 10 here, so they've already misguessed the spades. They have another spade loser to deal with as well. East forces dummy again in diamonds. Now the 10 of hearts, ducked. This might run around to the stiff queen. East is in again, gets to play another diamond. West will just pitch a club. And yeah, Declare is in heaps of trouble now. Cashes the ace of hearts, gets the worst news about the heart suit. So, I mean, it did look like it was going to be a bit of a miraculous save to pull 4 clubs to 4 hearts on the North cards. But with the way the play has developed, Declare is still in a ton of trouble. Tries a spade to the queen. The spade comes back. But Declare still has to lose 2 more tricks to the king and 9 of hearts. So this will be 3 down. Minus 150. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's probably going to be a board match loss. I don't expect most pairs to overcall 3 clubs on the South cards. We might see some takeout doubles, but I think we're going to see a lot of passes. East-West might just end up playing 2 diamonds or 3 diamonds. Let's jump into the other rooms, though. See maybe at the counterpart table what happens. Ooh. So North opened 2 diamonds weak with both majors on the 5-4. And that allowed North-South to actually find their way into a heart fit. So auction-wise, it does look like this North-South pair for Harris UK has been doing a lot better than the field on many of these hands. They reached 6 diamonds earlier, using their effective transfers over transfer systems over a no trump. They have this nice gadget where they get to play in 2 hearts on this board. Let's keep walking around the room, though. Actually, we are on to the very next board, in fact. We're just finishing up play on board 17 of this round, second board of the round at this table. And it seems as if Declare has made quite a few tricks in 2 no trump. A club, 2 clubs, 2 no, all pass. Didn't really get to follow the play here. Let's try and check in on a different table that's just starting this board. Here we go. South opens a no trump, 14 count, 4-3-3. It might be that they play 14 to 16, and this is in their range. 3 hearts, singleton heart with 5-4 in the minors, so 3-1 exactly in the majors. South bids 3 spades. A bit of an unusual bid, I would say, from South. I mean, I definitely feel South's hesitance to bid 3-0 with ace-10, 8, 4th of hearts and out. If West happened to have the 9 of hearts, then the defense might be able to set up quite a few heart tricks during the play. But I would imagine for most pairs, 3 spades would be an offer to play in a spade fit, rather than just some sort of waiting bid. North bids 3-0, and there it is. Looks like North-South are on the same page, though, on this one. West does lead a heart, and South is going to be thrilled to see that 9 of hearts in dummy. They have 5 club tricks. The club suit comes home, and 3 aces outside gets them up to 8. Excuse me. The best way to play the diamond suit is to take 2 finesses against West. So you could, say, lead the queen of diamonds right now out of hand. Looks like Declare is not choosing to do that. And then if the queen of diamonds goes low, low, king, you can cross back and lead a low diamond to the 10 later. I don't know why Declare didn't elect to choose that line of play. Running 5 rounds of clubs is going to give a lot of info to East-West on this hand, but it also does give Declare a little bit of information in that East-West need to make some discards. So West pitching down to stiff king of spades. Declare leads a diamond towards their hand. Sticks in the 9. If this had lost to the jack, they would still have the opportunity to win the ace of spades later and run the queen of diamonds, taking a finesse that way. Only a little bit inferior to taking 2 diamond finesses against the same player, but still pretty close. Overall, queen of diamonds fells the jack, and Declare does get to cash out the diamond suit. 3-0 making 4. There is one more board to play. Apologies, I was responding to a chat comment. I'm always happy to try and talk with all the viewers. Unfortunately, it is a little bit challenging with the 15-minute delay. But I will do my best to respond to comments in chat if you have them, so feel free to ask questions. Board 17 here at this table, Harris UK against BridgeChamp A. It looks like East-West have set up the entire spade suit, although they have blocked the suit somehow. I don't exactly know what happened in the spades earlier in the play. But yeah, West cannot get back over to their partner's 10 of spades anymore, having won the 9 on the first round. And at this point, Declare is good. You can unblock the 9 of diamonds. It does seem like South at this table did elect to lead the queen of diamonds. Let's just try and step back a little bit in the play to see if that's what happened. So the opening lead was the 4 of spades. Declare put up the jack, queen, ace, and then Declare did immediately go after the diamond suit, taking the percentage play, leading the queen on the first round. So well done there. Sets up the entire diamond suit. Declare doesn't exactly know that that's what's happening here because the jack of clubs isn't known to be falling, but they are now able to cash out and claim the rest. 3-0 trump making 10 tricks. Well done. We did see one table missing that result. Let's try and check in on the final board, board 18. Pass by East, South opens a spade with a beautiful 15 count, 6-4 in the majors. Pass by West. I think a lot of players would be very tempted to stick in a 3-diamond call. I know it's a 2 count, but you're favorable. Partner's a passed hand. You really want to get in the way of this north-south auction. They're vulnerable. They aren't going to go after you in 3 diamonds. And if partner saves in 5 diamonds, so be it. The opponents are still going to have a difficult decision at the 5 level. But it could just be a stylistic thing. Some partnerships do like these 3-diamond preempts to have a little bit of weight to them. But with East-West silent, North-South do get to have a free run at this auction. So 2 clubs by North game force, 2 hearts by South, showing the 6-4. North rebids 3 hearts. So they've missed out on a 10-card spade fit here. which is a little bit surprising. I mean, North is... it can be a clever thing to do to try and play in a 4 forfeit rather than a 5 forfeit, because you might be able to ditch a loser from your hand if you play in the 4-4, as long as you can pull trumps. In this case, we would very much prefer to play the slam in spades, the grand slam, just because in hearts it's possible we just have a heart loser, or that the opponents get a spade ruff at trick 1 for that matter. Whereas if we play in spades, there's some chance that if there is a heart loser in hearts, we might be able to squeeze someone out of it. If they happen to hold the jack 9 fourth of hearts and the diamond ace, there will be a squeeze available in a spade contract, while there wouldn't be in a heart contract. So we'll see if North-South are able to find their way back into spades, having already kind of committed to hearts here. 3 spades looks like a cubid, 4 clubs is a cubid, 4 diamonds is a cubid. North might think about taking over with keycard here, having heard their partner show the diamond ace they expect, or a diamond control of some kind, as well as the spade ace. But no, North decides to pass it over to their partner to bid keycard themselves. So South can bid keycard for now. I'm still pretty sure we're Q-bidding in support of hearts, so this will be keycard for hearts. North is going to show 1 keycard, whatever that is in their system. So North will bid 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, depending on whether they play 14-30 or 0-3-1-4. 5 diamonds showing 1. South can now ask for the heart queen. I mean, South needs to work out that their partner's keycard is the heart ace. Like, I think this auction has gone a bit off the rails because South was not able to show their exclusion type hand. Like, South could have just bid 5 diamonds over 4 clubs exclusion keycard if they wanted to do that. East doubles 5 diamonds. So this is actually really nice for keycard pairs if the opponents interfere with your keycard sequence. I'm not going to say don't bid keycard or don't interfere with the opponent's keycard if you have some reason to do so, but it gives a lot more room. Like, we can see here that because North-South are not playing kickback, South would have had to make a difficult judgment about whether to bid 5 spades over 5 diamonds to ask for the trump queen, confirming that they had all the key cards, or whether South just had to gamble on 5 hearts or 6 hearts because they don't know what key card their partner holds. Whereas in this case, once East bids doubles 5 diamonds, South had 2 extra bids available, pass and double, that they could have discussed to make use of. Diamond around to the ace. Gets rough to declare, leads a heart up. Just being careful in case hearts are 5-0, you can pick it up with East. You'll still lose a trump trick, but because that king of diamonds is a winner, you can just start running spades at them once you pull 4 rounds of trumps. So heart to the ace, heart to the king. Declare is going to make all 13 tricks here, but this was probably one of the worst possible results for North-South on this deal. It's going to be hard to justify not getting to a slam on the North-South cards, and I think a lot of pairs may find their way to a grand with more sophisticated methods. Let's leave them to it. Let's check in on the other table in this match, actually. And speaking of, I mean, it's the pair that I've been praising throughout for having a very, very strong bidding system, as well as kind of their decision-making in the auction. They get to 7 spades. 1 spade, 2 no. Game forcing with spades. I think that would be a much more popular choice among a lot of players here. 3 spades, non-minimum with short diamonds. 4 clubs is asking. 4 diamonds showed the diamond void now, or first round diamond control, so presumably a void. 4 hearts cubid, key card by South, 5 hearts, 2 key cards with the spade or without the spade queen, 6 hearts, asking for third round heart control. Well done. And then South has all the information they need to put it in 7 spades. Do we have a little bit of a glitch here? I'm sorry, the auction is still up on the table. Okay, we have a little bit of a glitch, but it looks like 7 spades is going to come rolling home. We'll leave them to it over there. Last room. Oh my. Look at this, because we do have some action here on this board. South opens a spade, 3 diamond preempt, which we had talked about. 4 diamonds, cubit, 5 diamonds by East. South jumps to 6 spades over 5 diamonds. 7 diamonds gets doubled. And then South doesn't respect it and bids 7 spades. I don't know. Something's weird about that. But yeah, I'm not sure how South decided to bid 7 spades there at the end, but well done. Moving into the last round, 3 boards to play. Max BridgeChamp up in the lead with 46.5. McHandy has moved up, our newest team to the event. They're in second. BridgeChamp A is down in third. And I think we're seeing Max BridgeChamp against BridgeChamp A for the final round. We have McHandy against One Down, No Down. Those are probably going to be the 2 matches we focus against. A couple of robots at each table, but let's check out this room to start off the set. Our first and third place teams going into these final 3 boards. South opens a club. West gets to overcall a diamond. North doesn't have any reason to bid anymore. If West had passed, North would absolutely have bid a spade with their hand at this vulnerability, trying to find a spade fit and preempt the auction a little bit, not give the opponents an easy ride. But with West having overcalled, North does not need to bid 1 spade at this time, so North passes. East has a nice hand, probably going to see a 2 club Q bid or some sort of Q bid in support of diamonds over there. 3 card diamond support. Or 2-no. Whatever the description of 2-no is, East probably has it, whether it's natural and invitational or whether it's a limit raise in diamonds. Only 3 card diamond support though. So as West, I'm pretty sure we just bid 3-no. I suppose we can stop off to try 3 hearts on the way to see if we have a heart fit. But 3-no does seem practical, at least, to not give anything away. Don't let the opponents know that they should lead spades against this auction. There's 9 tricks, and the spades do split. Spades are 4-4 between the North-South hands, so South is going to cash the first 4 spade tricks. But beyond that, Declare just has the rest. 5 clubs, 2 hearts, and 2 diamonds. Well judged by East-West. And then a little bit of friendly luck on the distribution that spades are not splitting foul between the North-South cards. So King of Spades opening lead. I don't know if this is like a power lead or something. Some pairs will be playing the king asks for unblock of an honor. That's kind of what South wants. South actually wants partner to have Jack 5th of spades, not Jack 4th. But South is mostly hoping that they figure out where the Jack of spades is pretty quickly. So we'll see if North unblocks the Jack. North plays a low spade. South thinking, I'm just going to stand here for a minute while we see if they do find the spade cash out. Ace of spades. Now is North going to unblock the Jack? I mean, you don't at trick 1 because North might not have been certain what was going on. But now at trick 2, if the King of Spades was asking for an unblock, certainly it's the case that that North should be doing so there. It looks like that's not what was going on. So Ace, King, Queen of Spades. Now a 4th round of spades. and Declare can scoop up the rest. That's board 19. I mean, it looks very simple, but maybe we should tune into this table to show that it really isn't. Because a club, a diamond, 2 clubs, game force, or not game force, sorry, good hand, 2 hearts, 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, and East just elected to pass there. Maybe judging that their hand wasn't good enough to bid game, or maybe because they were worried about the 3 small spades, that they didn't have a spade stopper. I think with neither opponent bidding spades, you can be a little bit less worried about having a stopper in the unbid suit in this sequence. Because North may well have bid a spade with 5, South would have opened a spade with 5, so somewhat likely that that the opponent's spades are 4-4 if they have them. But yeah, East-West find their way to 3 diamonds, and the diamonds do not split well. It does seem as if West is going to make the contract by cashing 3 more rounds of clubs here to shed that heart loser from the West hand before North gets to rough in. But this is still going to be a pretty big swing going the way of team Max BridgeChamp on this first board. Getting to 3-0, making it. Going to pick up quite a few imps as well as the board of match win. Let's check in on some of our other matches. 1 down, no down against McCandy, I think McCandy is our second place team currently. They're in the midst of board 20, where after North-South found a diamond fit, East-West had bid up to their spade contract with 9 trumps between them. And it seems like Declare is going about trying to rough some diamonds. We'll need to pitch one on the ace of clubs eventually, but club rough, diamond rough. Oh, maybe not. I mean, we are watching the robots play, so just giving commentary on what I think the robots are going to do might not be too sensible. And the bonus is they play very quickly. Declare cashes the ace of clubs now, pitches a heart. Now are they going to try the ace of hearts? Is that what's going on? No, they try a club. Club roughed high. Diamond rough. High. Now do we try the ace of hearts? 2 of hearts. Roughed high. Now a spade lead. Fascinating. And it looks like Declare is locked into getting 1 more trick in this end position. Queen of spades holds up at trick 13. So, well done, it seems like, overall. Making plus 170 on that board. Let's check in on the other table of this match briefly. Also 170. Same robots, so I guess they probably found the exact same line of play. Moving around the room, let's check in on Harris UK against Adora, the final match that we haven't seen yet. They're on board 20, so this was the hand we just kind of saw. It looks like North-South did not find a diamond fit at this table, at least not yet. South balancing in over 2 spades with a takeout double. A bit of a surprise given that South doesn't have 4 hearts. I think you would really, really, really prefer to have 4 cards in the other major here because your partner's going to preference bidding that major suit over almost anything else. And wow, East bids 3 spades anyway over 2-0. A bit surprising after that 2-0 bid from North, because it sounds as if North is looking for a minor suit and East has Queen 10, 4th of diamonds over there. Might have been attractive to try and go after a penalty against the opponents. But East-West get to 3 spades. Let's try and see how a human might handle the play here. King of diamonds opening lead looks like king from ace king. And South does switch to clubs. So club around to declares king. Gotta ruff some diamonds, so maybe a diamond ruff. Oh, declare doesn't care about getting diamond ruffs in. Surprising. I mean, this is going to work out fine for them, given that the spades are split as they are. But if the defense was able to pull 3 rounds of trumps here, declare might be in a bit of trouble. Another club comes, so declare can pitch a diamond loser. But now what? He just plays another spade? So North can win and fire back a 3rd spade. I mean, hearts do split. So at this point, it doesn't really help the defense to pull trumps, and it will work out for declare. But with hearts 3-3, declare does get to dish a diamond loser and can ruff their final 4th round of diamonds in the dummy. But if hearts didn't split, North could just play back a 3rd spade here, and declare would be in trouble. Not in trouble in terms of making the contract, but in terms of making all the rest of the tricks. That over trick is vital at this form of scoring. So spade goes around to the 8. Declare can cash 2 hearts and then ruff a club. But they don't really get the opportunity to set up any sort of sensible squeeze attempt here, because you can't really ruff a diamond and get back to the east hand. I mean, you can ruff a club, ruff a diamond, ruff a club. I guess that would be the way to do it. So lead the 10 of diamonds now, for example. All right, declare just plays for 3-3 hearts. And it works. 10 tricks. Never punished. Let's head back over to our top tables, though. We're in the midst of a critical 1 no-trump contract currently. And it seems as if declare has made 7 tricks, but East is going to be able to claim the rest. So 1 no-trump, making 1 for North-South. Let's jump to the other room. 1 spade, 1 no-trump, all pass. This could be the board that decides the entire match. Small club opening lead from Queen-Jack 5th from East is going to pick off the 10 of clubs for an extra trick for declare. So now declare needs to decide which suit to play on. Oftentimes, it's best to play on your 5-card suits, not your 4-card suits, even though the diamonds have more honors in them. But declare does go after a diamond, leads the diamond to the king. Now it feels right to probably switch attention to the heart suit. So is declare going to lead the king of hearts? Is declare going to... I mean, that's probably what you would do, is to lead the king of hearts. They do. King of hearts, West takes the ace immediately. Jack drops, and now plays a club back. But that's going to allow declare to, I guess, knock out the diamond ace at this point. They've got 4 heart tricks. They have 3 club tricks. And a diamond already. And now when they knock out the ace of diamonds, the defense can cash 2 spades if they're up to it. But it seems like declare is going to make quite a few tricks here. Club goes around to the ace. Declare can now run the hearts, cash that jack of diamonds. East will hold on to the 10-9 of diamonds, as well as the jack of clubs in the end position. And declare will have to lose the last 2 tricks, but this is going to be 150. So BridgeChamp A, North-South here, are going to pick up some much needed points. It does seem as if they've had a pretty difficult round, though. Minus 14.4. I think that's some sort of imp score that's being calculated. But this is looking like it's going to be a win for them on the final board of the set. Last card to be played. They do pick up just a little bit. We have one table still in play over here. This table has been a bit slow all day. But we'll hang out here for the final minutes of the match. One spade, one no trump, all pass has been the sequence at every other table that we've seen. East on lead. Oh! Huh. I don't follow. Yeah, now what's your plan, East? Show me. Because I guess you have to bid 3 clubs at this point if you're East. You're past hand, so partner should know at that point that you have both clubs and diamonds. East passes 2 hearts. Unbelievable. North doesn't even double. And a spade lead. He's laughing as he puts the dummy down. They're non-vulnerable. And we've seen some 150s for North, or we saw one 150 for North-South. So how bad is this actually going to be? I mean, I think it's going to be pretty bad. Declare knows that spades are 5-1, so that king of spades is going to get roughed out pretty soon. Declare is going to need to set up some roughs in their own hand, so a diamond to the 10 is a pretty attractive play. I mean, it's not ideal because South gets in and immediately roughs out your spade king, but you would need that ace of diamonds entry to get back over there to rough a diamond so that the opponents can't pull trumps. So diamond goes to the queen. Now the queen of spades comes back. Declare elects to cover. Didn't have to. I mean, this was going to lose the trick anyway. So covering does force North to rough, but it kind of comes at the cost of you still have a bunch of spade losers. If Declare instead had ducked, say, 2 rounds of spades, the king of spades would have been set up, and if the defense tried to rough that out, the jack of hearts would still be in dummy. Oh, but North does give Declare the opportunity to rough a diamond in their own hand. So now club over. I think if South gets in, we're going to see the king of hearts hit the table lightning fast. So 5 of clubs to the 10, jack, and king. King of hearts. You know exactly what's going on in a hand like this. Dummy hits with a singleton. They were expecting to have heart length. Yeah, there's the king of hearts. Automatic play from South. Very nicely done. Pull trumps. Make sure Declare doesn't get any extra tricks out of nowhere. So now another club up with the ace from North. And North should have a full count on South's shape. I mean, it's possible that West started with 5 hearts. It is barely possible that West started with 5 hearts. But if West only has 4 hearts, we know that South started with 5 spades from the opening bid and the lack of a spade rebid over a no trump doubled. We know that South started with 3 diamonds. Oh, but North doesn't have a count. North decides to play Declare for 5 hearts, allowing... Beautiful play from South here. Roughs partners jack of diamonds with the 10 of hearts so that South can cash another spade so that North can pitch their club loser, and now plays a trump back. Great defense from South throughout this hand. That was very well done all around, and now North gets to claim the rest of the tricks, over-roughing the 6 of hearts with the 7, and both the Queen and 9 of hearts are winners. So this is going to be 4 down, minus 200. Not a successful takeout double there, but still fun to see. And that's going to wrap up the event. Let's see who won. Whoops. Sorry, apologies. 1 second. And the results, we have Max BridgeChamp winning by just 1 point over Mick Handy, who I think came two-handed today. They had to get substitutes from the bots. Harris UK, with that final board pickup, moves into third. BridgeChamp down in fourth. 1 down, no down, Team Champ bot, Draver and Adora sitting at the bottom of the standings. But that's going to wrap up the stream for today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed the coverage of this OCBL Patton from BridgeChamp. It's going to be the last one of the year, but don't worry, there will be certain to be more of these events coming up next year. So make sure that you follow the channel and subscribe, and stay tuned for all of the announcements on the BridgeChamp website as these tournaments continue into 2026. Happy holiday season to everyone who's celebrating, and have a great day.